Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, magnificent, sublime, individual. Did I say individual twice? Nah, Mondays. Today, I would like to speak about inner force of life, conscious within our body. When we meditate and breathe and sense and sit with our own, well, be it clutter or be it silence. It varies based on how much clutter we do have, on how much unresolved inner chaos we might perceive by ourselves. Now, having the inner force of life, the strength to sit within it so that we can clear it up, clear out the mist, the fog, so that you can truly clearly see within yourself, and being able to use your own inner will, your own will, to think with, to feel with, and whatever you are asked to do by the higher realms, so that you can develop further and further as a human being. This requires also curiosity and wonder. When you do have curiosity and wonder, you wake up every day with a sense of wanting to discover, explore, both as an explorer, as a scientist, be it whatever you like, in any field you like, but it is a force of wishing to explore and discover and experience. This is feeling and being alive within. Of course, this requires practice and training so that, as I said, the clutter disappears, and that takes time, patience. It might take 3 months, it might take 10 years, it might take 19 years for some. You see, it is variable based on people's karma. Not everyone have the same amount of insights and knowledge to reality. That is but truth. But that does not mean that anyone is worth more than the other. We are all equal in God's eyes. But God cannot reach us equally because of karma. You see, that is our own fault. That is our own karma. So when we clear this karma, when we have a longing, an intention, a set interest in wishing to resolve this, is when you clear the clutter within. And you get this inner sense of serenity when you observe, when you sense, when you hear, when you see, when you think, when you feel. You are here with you. You are with your body and utilizing your sense organ, your body, to explore and experience and perceive with. So when you do this, you stimulate your own soul and spirit. And you become more and more conscious. The more conscious you become, the more details and, well, anything you absorb, so that you can, in later times, I like Rudolf Steiner's example of, in the evening, when we go through our whole day, we go through the whole day backwards. It is so that we get acquainted with going against or fighting against time or space, so that we do not see every single occurrence happening side by side by side, but you go backwards into a certain... when you do that, you kind of get a glimpse and see what kind of will impulses is playing within you. Of course, only indirectly, because we cannot truly directly and concretely see the will yet. The will is, for all intents and purposes, asleep. Our feeling is dream. Our thoughts are fully conscious. So where do we start? We start on our thoughts. And when we master our thought process, not process because that's not what it is, when you master living thought, pure thinking, active, conscious image, and creating, shaping, forming thoughts, is when you can go down into the emotions. Then you can enlighten your emotions with your mind, with your spirit, with your thoughts. And deeper down still, first you think about something, then you get the sense and the feeling of you are going to do it, and then you go do it. It's kind of a 3-step thing. You cannot work directly upon your will. You have to indirectly do so. By doing so, you become more alive inside. It is about becoming as mobile and flexible as you would with your outer limbs, with your inner being. And when you do so, you get life. It is truly marvelous when you come into the silence of your own inner being, of your own heart, and manage to quell it down to a certain stillness. Because this void, this stillness, is not empty void. From this stillness comes out marvelous and sublime knowledge and wisdom. Of course, one should and need to study spiritual science, esoteric truths and such to be able to, well, put pictures and put understandings to this whatsoever. Or else it will just be, what is that? What is this? What is this? You see, there are people, there are teachers of earlier times that have already gone through all of this and have documented it and have put understandings to this. And they share these experiences so that you can get a sharing in on their experiences. You can play along on what they are speaking about so you can get a glimpse of it yourself. Then you kind of have an inkling, at least, of where you're going. There are many things to explore in this world, and you always feel a sense of satisfaction with that, because you know you will never get bored. You will never stop stimulating and stop experiencing unless one becomes dead inside, of course. One has given up in life and are a walking dead. That happens. But there is in no way that you will stay like that forever. You have any chance to bring life again into your own inner being, but you have to do that. There is nothing outside you that will do so. You will have to do so, because truth comes from inside. You can consume whatever you find out of yourself, outside of yourself. It will never satisfy what the soul and spirit longs for. It longs for true sublime truths, truths of a divine kind. Even though we deny this, your soul and spirit doesn't lie. It never does. But if we consciously fight this, we deny ourselves this unfolding and development. So by having the set intention and interest in wishing to evolve, become a better, more morally inclined, loving, nurturing, compassionate human being, but also with a strong sense of justice, judgment, fortitude, courage, justice, judgment. The seven, I have no idea why it didn't stick right now, but the seven virtues is justice, judgment, fortitude, prudence, of course. Justice, judgment, courage, carefulness, faith, love, and hope. It stood so still there for a second, but I actually had the lining in my head after all. I thought I was missing one. Anyways, these seven: justice, which is karma; judgment, discernment, discerning what is good, what is healthy, what is unhealthy, and so on and so forth; courage, the drive to do what you do despite having ridiculers and people in the background doing calumny against you; and carefulness, being prudent, not being impulsively stupid and doing something that you will regret later. Faith, love, and hope speaks for themselves. These are the higher spiritual virtues that cannot necessarily be perceived in the outer world, but comes from inner life. So it is all about truly finding these truths and relating them to what can be related to in the proper spiritual forces. Justice is a force. Judgment is a force. It is a living, objective truth and reality. It's the same with love. Only we human beings can truly show divine love. Any animal you find show familial love, but outside of that they are aggressive. We human beings are not slaves to that. We are not. We are not slaves to our blood bonds. We truly are individuals living on this planet Earth. So we are all Earth beings. Everyone is human beings. Of course, some hasn't fully developed their own inner sense of the human being and believe themselves to be animals, and hence they live by certain aspects of that reality. Overcoming that is what we human beings have been tasked with in this time and incarnation. Finding what is human alone, for you won't find it outside. The human being is with us alone. There's no other human being out there except within. The ego, the spirit, the center, the core of our being is the human being, and you won't find it in any mineral, plant, or animal. But you will find it in any human being. So that is where we are looking, observing, feeling, sensing, being curious, being compassionate, and never misusing these things, but truly wishing to do good and be a healing force. Be someone that can inspire, someone that you can be an example for others, so that you can truly, well, domino effect, snowball effect, you know? First you do something, then another does, and then another does, and then it splits up to many, many branches. This is the butterfly effect in present time. You see, if we went back to the past and changed something, right? It's the same now. What you do now, it butterflies effects to the future. Think about that. It breaks your head a little, but it is truth. What you do now is the future. That is karma too. So be a little careful with that too. It is all about getting the sense of responsibility. And that is where the fun begins. Because once you get that sense, it is all about starting to clear the clutter. Clearing the bad habits, clearing what we feel ashamed about ourselves, and so on and so forth. Insecurities, projecting out on others. Getting that inner sense of stability and foundation. And I will leave you with this today. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, Godhead, Seraphim, Cherubim, thrones, Kyriadetes, Dynamis, Exousiae, Archai, archangels and angels, bless, protect, guide and love you, and may you be provided for, and have all you need to be safe, and to live, and to survive, and to thrive, and to be creative and inspirational. And may you have a warm heart, and may you embrace your life that you have been given by God. And yeah, thank you, love you, see you, goodbye.